Welcome to Family Basics 101. I'm Dr. Bruce McClure, the local minister at the Prince George's Church of Christ, located at 7800 Central Avenue in Landover, Maryland. Throughout the week, we've studied a series of lessons that it is my prayer has blessed each of us in terms of looking at prayers that we should pray. On yesterday, we talked specifically, or day before, I should say, we talked about prayers for deliverance from evil. And we looked at evil defined, that which is bad-natured, that which should not ever be a thought, and that which is without law. On yesterday, we talked about prayers everyone should pray. And the prayer that we talked specifically about was the prayer for patience on Tuesday, maybe I should say, not on Wednesday. And one of the things that we talked about in that, in terms of patience, is how it is used in Scripture to point up the long in spirit, the endurance, not to lose heart, to become mild and slow in avenging others. And yet we talked about the challenges of practicing patience and praying for patience, because patience is an action word, it is a verb. And once we ask for patience, we must keep in mind that it is in the aorist tense, which means once we start practicing patience, we keep on practicing patience until we die. So you hear people say, well, my patience is growing thin. Well, in that situation, but we should never abandon patience, because patience is a godly virtue that God expects for us to practice no matter where we go in life. In Luke chapter 21, you recall, we looked at verse number 19. In your patience, you possess your own souls. We have to learn to control our patience. So today, in the brief lesson that we'll do as we wrap up the series, here's another prayer that everyone should pray, and that is for a compassionate spirit. I know that sounds strange, but I think it's a prayer that we look at sometimes, or a word that we look at, and I wonder if we really understand the depths of what the word compassion means. In Matthew's chapter 9, for instance, in verse number 36, but when Jesus saw the multitudes, he was moved with compassion on them, because they fainted and were scattered abroad as sheep having no shepherd. So what is compassion? It is an action emanating from the inside of an individual that is driven by what is observed, that is actively transacting in the life of another person. Now, take a look at the text again, and you'll see that. When Jesus saw the multitudes, see, he observed. When he observed them, because they fainted, they were growing weary, and they were being scattered abroad. And it was as if nobody was directing them. That touched Jesus, and the text said he was moved with compassion. It's an action that moves us from the inside. Some definition says it's from the bowels. It's the innermost part of the individual. Compassion really drives individuals to assist. Well, I really feel sorry for that person. My heart really goes out for that person. Yeah, but the greater question is, what are you doing to assist them? In Matthew chapter 15 and verse number 32, then Jesus called his disciples unto him and said, I have compassion on the multitude, because they continue with me now for 3 whole days, and they have nothing to eat. And I will not send them away fasting, lest they grow wearier in the way. You see, the tender mercy and the inward affection, it is driven by observation of the efforts of others to improve, while at the same time understanding the near impossibility of the task. Jesus says, I have compassion on them because they are trying to hang with me. They've been here for 3 days without anything to eat. And I am not going to send them away basically starving. So compassion drives us to action before the individual asks, requests the act. Compassion is the decision to assist others with that which is lacking in order for them not to be destroyed in their spirits. How often have you heard people say, well, they never asked? All they had to do was ask. Some people can be so faint in heart, so weary, that they may not even, that they're trying to use all of their strength to just hang on for dear life. And it is Jesus who said, they have hung out with me for 3 days. They keep trying and trying and trying, and yet they have nothing to eat, which means their energy is real low. And then let me do one more slide. Compassion really helps to dry tears. In the text of Luke chapter 7, verse number 13, when the Lord saw the woman, he had compassion on her. And he said to her, don't cry. Isn't it amazing that a little bit of empathy, a little bit of caring, connected, feeling from the inside what people are experiencing? Something as simple as the Lord simply said, weep not. Weep not. It was driven by compassion. Let me encourage you to continue coming to Family Basics 101. We do it 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. And I just pray that these short lessons are encouraging, they're uplifting, and maybe in a small way, they really help get you through the day. I want to encourage you to come and join us on Sunday morning for Bible study at 9 o'clock a.m., followed by worship at 10 o'clock a.m. And then on Monday at noon, I will meet you back at Family Basics 101. Don't be late and don't skip class.